was Cowboy Every Time, the latest single from our next guest, who's used a lifetime full of experience in the rodeo life to construct an authentic country music sound all his own. He has a concert this Friday in Texas City. More on that in just a few minutes. But right now, let's get to know Texas-bred singer-songwriter Gunnar Latham. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. With a name like Gunnar, you just knew what you were going to do eventually, right?
I guess sometimes it lines up that way.
You turned 30 this year.
I do turn 30.
And you live in Texas full-time. You travel to Nashville a lot, which is something that you kind of have to do in the country music world, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. 3-year-old son?
I do, yep. Cash Mitchell Latham. He's my little mini-me.
Yeah. All right. Your background, born and raised in San Marcos. And, of course, how I knew San Marcos, I went to UT. We would go to San Marcos to have a good time, and all the people from San Marcos would come to Austin to have a good time. So we'd wave at each other on the highway, right?
Oh, yeah.
But music is not far away from your DNA. What did your dad do?
Well, my dad grew up playing music. He did rodeo and stuff, but as a kid, he was a music minister in church, and so I always played all kinds of instruments on Sundays. If somebody was out or whatever, I just kind of fill in and figure that out, and so did that growing up.
Yeah, not like in my church, they would announce on Saturday we will have tryouts because not everybody can be in the church choir or band. But were you you had a dad, so you were automatically in?
Oh yeah, and sometimes if I show up on Sundays, unexpectedly they just pull me up.
Yeah, yeah. We need a drummer. You play how many instruments?
I can play, anything with strings on it, piano and drums.
Yeah, all right. The rodeo life, as we mentioned, is authentic for you. We saw you a little bit in that video there. You did all kinds of things, ranching, horses, cattle. Your dad also rode bulls. You touched on that he was in that rodeo life as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it was something I grew up doing, kind of started around 10 years old. My dad kind of introduced me into it. And it's one of those things, if you start too young, you can kind of get bad habits with your swing and stuff just because you're really not strong enough to swing the big rope yet.
Yeah.
So I was thankful to kind of start a little bit later, around 10 or so. But yeah, we trained horses together, roped a lot as a kid and later on through life.
Yeah, what did that life teach you about work ethic and everything else?
Well, it just taught me. It was one of those things where if you're not holding the rope in your hand, somebody else is, and they'll beat you at the rodeo this weekend. So.
All right. You continued into college and professionally doing a lot of the steer wrestling, the team roping, tie downs, and all that type of stuff. But music was always in your heart.
Absolutely. It was always something. Driving down the road, rodeoing, you drive so many miles. Music, you drive so many miles, and you're going to listen to everything under the sun.
Yeah.
For me, I was always the type of guy that from Beastie Boys to George Strait, but if I'm gonna back in the box and nod my head, I'm gonna listen to some AC/DC,
I love it. You're like, your grandpa's truck, there was Conway Twitty, Keith Whitley, George Strait, all the, the real country stuff, but then your dad exposed you to some other things, as you're mentioning, even Vanilla Ice.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Ice, Ice Baby.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So, and that teaches you a lot as well. But you really, in your own personal music, like to stick to more of that kind of country style.
For sure, it was something that has always influenced me from, as all the songs and artists that you were talking about, my grandpa's truck and stuff like that. That's always just really influenced me and loved the storytelling behind it.
Yeah,
so.
But we see in modern country, though, is we see almost all the things that you just talked about. Because sometimes I'm listening to a country song and go, now is that pop? Is that rock? Is that
There's
R&B?
definitely some crossover nowadays, which is fine. It's great. I listen to some of it.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily my style yet. But.
All right. While at Sul Ross University, you lived in an RV on a mountain?
I did, yep, I did. I would feed Aldad and mule deer every morning, corn before I went to school.
So the dorm room was out of the question? It was like living on an RV on a mountain instead?
Right. We had to stay in a dorm for 2 years, and then we had the choice to go, later on in school once they.
And then you began writing country songs. It's one thing to cover country songs or play the country songs. It's another thing to write something because then I would imagine it becomes much more personal.
It is for sure. It's a process, and it's having. Something I learned songwriting is it's definitely having something to say, but also knowing what you wouldn't say in a writing room, in a collab or something like that.
Yeah. And along the way in a career like this, sometimes all you need is a nod that you're doing the right thing. You began writing the country songs, and then you would have fun at parties, right? And then a friend paid you. When someone especially a friend, when a friend pays you, that makes you stop and think, wait a second.
Yeah, wait a minute. We could. Well, it's one of those things in rodeo. If you don't do good this weekend, you're not making any money.
Yeah.
And then in country music, it's like you go play play a show or something. They're like, here's $300 for a couple hours. When I'm in college, I'm like, dang, I just made $300 tonight.
Yeah.
Heck
What was
yeah,
your
I'd do
go-to
this
song
again.
when you're, okay, pick up your guitar.
Okay.
What was the go-to song?
My go-to
The
song?
one that you could always, when they say, hey, Gunnar, play a song for us. We got $300.
Probably a George Strait song.
Go ahead, give it to us.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
She said she's had enough of me. I've had enough of her too. Just might as well go on and set her free. She's already turned me loose.
All right, well, we have not had enough of you. We want more of you in a little bit. But balancing the rodeo and music, so now you have kind of this segue of, you know, the rodeo life and competing life is cool, and you love it and you're good at it, but what do I want to do with music?
Yeah, so music now has just become just my professional career. That's all I do, day in, day out. Writing songs, playing shows on weekends, and that's just where my head's at now. I still compete for, you know, for fun and stuff, amateur rodeos and whatnot every now and again, but for now it's just music. Yeah.
Your new song, Cowboy, every time we heard a little bit of that off the top and got the richness of your voice. And what I love about what you do is that, you know, you can have heavy orchestration or just the guitar and a couple of other things, and that's when a voice like yours just sings.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
All right.
It's one of those things, I really like to sound as close to live performance as I can.
Yeah.
So.
All right. You also use music for good. You recently played a benefit for flood relief.
Yes, ma'am. I sure did. It's one of those things growing up in the hill country. You know, I grew up floating those rivers, fishing those rivers, everything my whole life, my whole family, multiple generations are all from that area. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. What do you have to say? Because we have so many young performers who make the decision that they're going to make music their full-time deal, right? And it's scary to do that sometimes when you have benefits in a 401k at play on something else, right? But what do you have to say to them to go ahead and pursue that dream?
Well, it's one of those things that you have to tell yourself, like, hey, I'm going to do this. And I'm a big believer, and there's no plan Bs. Your plan A is never going to work if you got a plan B. And for the music and rodeo lifestyle and that kind of gypsy movement, I could call it.
Gypsy movement, I love it. The cowboy movement.
The cowboy movement.
Yeah, you just got a cowboy up,
say.
right?
Yeah, you got to cowboy up and go, and just, do it.
Yeah, I remember talking to Lainey Wilson, and when she had her little, trailer outside of the recording studio, and she was sleeping in that little trailer and recording, and I said, one day we're going to see you on the main stage at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and she said, yeah, from your lips to God's ears, Deborah Duncan. So it's like we're going to see you up on the main stage at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and winning all those awards. But thank you for dropping by today. And what can people expect at your concert coming up this Friday?
Well, you're going to hear a lot of music. I'm going to have some merch to sell. There's going to be lots of cold drinks, any flavor you like, and definitely country music.
Yeah, and we're going to pay you more than $300. All right, Gunnar, thank you very much. Gunnar Latham's newest single, Cowboy Every Time, is available now everywhere you stream your music. You can also catch him live in concert this Friday night at the High Horse Saloon in Texas City. For more information, visit greatdayhouston.com, and we will connect you.